Hello, and welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
I'm still sharing after all this time.
Thank you for joining us again for another episode. We appreciate each and every one of you all. And if you're new to our channel, welcome, welcome. And please like, subscribe, and share our videos
Yeah,
to anyone who you think will benefit them, and let them know we have a lot out there.
exactly. And when
So
she says a lot, we really mean a lot. We have over one, and we're very proud of this. Really have over 175 videos. I can't believe it. Wow. That's a lot of
absolutely,
talking, y'all.
absolutely. But thank you and welcome to our channel. If you are returning, welcome
Hey,
back.
we're happy about that too.
Absolutely. So before we get into today's topic, on conversations with Sharon and Rosa, do you have any
Announcements?
announcements? Yeah.
Yes, I do. And they've been said before, and we're going to say it again. This is our next to last broadcast in this format. We are going to, if you will, move aside a little bit, change our schedules around, and change our business model as well. Doing a couple of other little projects, but you will still hear from us probably no more than once a month, and we're going to go live because it seems like you guys like that, and we
Yeah.
surely enjoy it as well. We're not going bye bye. We're just not going to be hanging around so
Yeah.
much.
And the
Yeah,
one thing I like about live is the fact that I feel like we can answer your questions like right there and
and we
then,
can. Yeah,
instead of waiting for you all to, type something into the comments and then
and we
we
read it
get
next
to
week.
it right and try to
Yeah,
answer it. So I appreciate that part of it. So I'm excited about that. We will be going live. And as Sharon said, coming to you all at least once a month. Sometime it may be twice a month, sometime it may
yeah.
be once every other month. No, I'm just
Depending
kidding.
on Mama here.
I'm just kidding
Yeah.
with y'all.
No, we
But
enjoy it. We
but
do.
yeah, yeah, we
We
do.
enjoy it, and of course there's so many other things going on in our lives and everyone's lives. This is a incredible time
Yeah,
in history.
yeah,
But I will say that we started during COVID. We started September of 2020, and as you can tell by the calendar, it's been 3 years, 3 months. So
yeah,
you kind of know what our flavor is, and as we have, I think, individually and jointly, we have enjoyed you guys as much as you have enjoyed us.
absolutely, absolutely. The only announcement I have is yes, happy holidays.
Happy.
Try not to excuse me, try not to stress too much during these holidays. Get some rest and some relaxation because that's
Yeah,
what I plan on doing.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, happy holidays to those who celebrate.
yeah.
Okay, so let's get into
What
today's
is today's
shout
shout outs?
outs.
You know she
See,
loved that part.
right, but she be trying to skip it all of a sudden. Um, today's shout out, first shout out goes to B Millie. B Millie. Thank
Mm.
you for being a subscriber to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa, and thank you for your comments. Also, Dunatel Teo
Yeah,
Donateo.
Donatello,
Donateo,
Donatello. Yeah. And if we mispronounce, you know we
which
love it.
I'm
Just
sure I am.
look, just love us past it.
We love you though. We thank you for being a subscriber as well to Conversations with Sharon and Rosa. Next we have you Young Trail W.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your comments and thank you for being a subscriber. And last but not least,
Ta-da.
old Toomey
Old
S.
Toonie.
We love you, we love you, we love you, and thank you for being a subscriber to our channel. All right, so
Whew. Yeah.
let's get into what we're going to be talking about today.
Oh.
And we will be talking about staying in love. Staying in love. So
Ooh.
some of you all who are not in love probably gonna be mad about some of the stuff we said,
I don't think so.
unless you've ever been in love. Because some people
Yeah.
you can relate and some you can't. Just
Yeah.
because you've been there and sometimes you haven't,
Right.
and it's
But when
okay.
people say, I don't want to be in love, I'm saying, like, okay,
Yeah.
and then when they do fall, it's even harder. Boom,
Exactly,
boom.
exactly.
And
But yeah, but we're just gonna be discussing staying in love and what
yeah,
that looks like for us because
easier said
it
than done.
is hard.
Yeah, it's hard
It's
work.
hard. It
But
really is.
remember how all the hard work you did when you were out there looking for someone, and some of us, took somebody's advice and say, "Hey, just stand still, because whoever you're looking for, she's looking for you as well." And on those good days, it really, really does happen. And there's people out there like, I don't even want to hear it, y'all, because I've been searching and searching, and I've been looking underneath rocks, and I've been hanging out at Home Depot in the lumber section, which I swear more lesbians hang out there. But seriously,
She giving Home
but
Depot a bad name.
no,
That's not
I'm giving
necessarily true.
Home Depot a good name. I'm just saying, what's the odds of you running into a lesbian at Home Depot? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, remember,
Or
we're everywhere.
maybe instead of going to the coffee shop, where who knows who I'm talking to, maybe you can go to Home Depot.
Right, just around. Talking about, do I have the right size? Do I need a saw?
I'm just kidding.
Do I need a saw?
Right.
Yeah, but before we jump into that and go a little further with it, but I am particularly I'm full of emotion this month because it is we had put an incredible amount of energy, incredible, individually and jointly into this, and
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot of time to make sure that you're where you need to be, and stop what you're doing, put on some makeup, make sure we got this, do some research, and have a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
And some of the conversations develop themselves. Some conversations we get because some of you would write us and say, well, hey, what about this? Well, what about my partner got 3 kids and I got 2, and her kids are bad, but I love her anyhow, and the house ain't big enough, but how are we going to make it as this wonderful couple? We've covered so many things. Like, do you remember some of the things you covered?
Oh yeah, we talked about money matters.
Money, money, money.
Yeah, like
Mm.
who's the head of the household, so to speak.
Or are you both the head of the household
Yeah,
and do
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
jointly?
yeah.
And my my, it's not even a pinch, but my statement on that is like, what's the most two familiar things that couples often argue about? It's rearing of the children and discipline, and money matters.
Finances, yes.
The finances, and people argue often if they have no money and they need some money. You argue if you have no money, and you argue if you do have some money. If you do have some money, you argue about what to do with the money that you do have. Right,
Exactly.
right. So be aware of that. And I've seen couples unravel around that one subject. Yeah, yeah, we love each other, but she keep running up the credit cards, and we only make so much, and she always wants to go here and there and spend the money, and she wants that 3 carat diamond or 4 or 5 or whatever the bling bling is. So we talked a lot about money matters. We spoke about God, love. We talked about venereal diseases, drug, alcohol, and drug addiction in the gay community. And oftentimes, people are like, well, who are y'all talking to? We're talking to everyone who fits underneath that umbrella or not. Because even if you're not underneath the umbrella, the rainbow, you know someone who is, and they're going through, because we're all human, sweetie. We stand on the same
And
scale.
the subject matters don't really even have a specific group because everybody goes through it.
Right, right. If you're
As a
breathing,
couple too.
right. If you're breathing and you're on the planet, some of these things will matter to
Right.
you at one time or another.
And
And again, that common thread is love. We want love. We're looking for love. We've been hurt by love. We know love is going to heal us. Love almost killed us. Oh, girl, wherever you at,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? So when as we proudly say that number again, over 175 videos, there's something in one of those videos that will speak to you. There's no doubt in our mind.
Yeah.
What I like is I got an email the other day, and the guy he says, I'm loving the show and I'm not a lesbian. No, you're not, but you're the father of a lesbian. So he feels like he's tuning in on a deeper vibe, and he is. And look how the world has come when you have friends, the parents of your friends can talk to you openly about what's going on in your life, your community, your world.
Right.
We have come a long way. When
Absolutely.
I remember one show that a friend of mine was nice enough to give me this shirt because we were talking about, slang words for butch women or femme women or whatever, and I said, the word used to be bulldagger, and she said, well, so she goes and gets me a shirt that says bulldagger. She said, I bet you won't wear it. I bet you I did.
Sharyn has that shirt on several episodes.
Because I like
Several.
it. Because I used to be one. Now I'm more evolved. I'm just an aging black lesbian, aka that old bulldagger.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But guess who loves me? Yeah.
And I have to say, it is hard with some of the subjects that Sharyn just named that we've done. It's hard to stay in love when you're doing a lot of arguing, right? So if you're arguing about finances or arguing about your sexuality or just, we just did one on threesomes. If anything that you're arguing about,
Money.
it's hard to stay in love during those hard times and the difficult times in your relationship. So how do you do that? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
How do
right.
you
So we
stay in
went
love
raw.
past that?
We
Right.
got raw. We talked about, and like our audience is any human being on the planet. But specifically, yes, we do target African American women. We target women of color. We target women. As I say, to lesbian land, everyone in lesbian land, and far beyond. We've talked about colorism. Ooh, yes, we did. Yes, we did. As I'm, like I like being a light cocoa, but my wife is a dark chocolate, and I'm loving it. And she shared with you some of her stories, some things that she dealt with growing up. Always the darkest child. And America still ain't ready for something, right?
That's a
Still.
great book, by the way. Book out there called The Darkest Child. Right?
Hmm.
It's very good. Go ahead and read that.
Right. Being on the
Okay.
down. Go ahead, babe.
No, you go back.
People on the down low, male and then females, because you got some women who know doggone well they prefer women, love women, sleep with women, but when you see them, they are presenting a very anything but gay affect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just like I'm gay on the weekends between 10 and 2, and I don't want my neighbors to know, nor you. What else
Right.
we talked about? We talked about bisexuality. Oh, we got ripped. We got ripped on that one. And ripped in the fact that because like I say, it's raw, it's real, it is a part of our life as well. Your experience with it, if you have some, it's is much different than maybe Rose's, mine, and the next 20 people that you run into.
Right.
But what we got accused of, and I still have a pinch about it, but it was like, well, we didn't have the right to talk about it the way we talked about it because you're making it look like that bisexual people don't know, that they just sleep with any and everybody,
Or don't know what they
what
want
they
or
want.
whatever.
Right, right.
And some people blame me as being bisexual. Like, you were once married, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I was, but that's neither here nor there. We did get ripped about that whole subject,
And we grew, and we're just taking the time to go over some of the many, many slices of the gay life and slices of life, period, of the world. And maybe we touched some sensitive parts of you, something that you can definitely relate to times two. So, what does all that have to do with, today we're just, actually revisiting the common theme of all of our shows, and that is staying in love. I don't know any of my friends, associates, buddies, relatives, compadres. I don't care who you're hanging out with. Everyone wants love, looking for love, been in love, want to do it again, only with the right person. And so, what does this have to do with what we're talking about today? And that is, it is quite obvious that um, all of these conversations can just be tied into how you're navigating your life and what is it that you really, really want. You want to be loved, and if you're fortunate enough to have love, how do you stay in love?
Absolutely.
And we've been very, very real and even raw, I would say. But it's so different for each couple. Rosa and I have, you might have guessed it by now, we're very different. Okay, very. And I would say that might have been, we've only been together 7 years, about 7.5 years now. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would say that we've had some moments. And
Several moments.
yeah, because I was just close to saying, let's wrap this up. And quite frankly, and love had nothing to do with it, other than the fact that I knew I loved her. I knew what was already true for me, and I
Mm-hmm.
also knew what I thought was true for her, but not so fast. um, we were getting ready to hit a dry patch,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah, I
was.
actually walked out the door.
I don't
Yeah,
remember that.
you don't. I walked out the door and stayed out all night. You don't remember me? We got in a big argument. I
That was
left.
that was you.
You know what?
No, I really don't. I
Okay.
remember I remember my feelings, and I know it was a rough patch, but I don't remember you staying out all night
Mm-hmm.
and living to tell about it. I just see always the jokester, right?
Right.
Right? No, no, no. Yeah, I do remember, and it was hard. It was difficult, and my fear. It wasn't just like, okay, I didn't mind being alone. I'm not lonely. I didn't mind, like, okay, if I live the rest of from here on out by myself, because I like sharing. I get a kick out of me. But one, I was facing, like, why did the relationship, where did we start going, the wrong way?
Mm-hmm.
And what is it about me and us right now that make you feel that maybe you can't do it? And what's the two things that people normally argue about when they're in a relationship? Y'all know, we done
You
said it a
just
hundred
said it,
times.
and you just said it earlier.
Right, yeah. Kids are finances, and we're blessed, wasn't finances. But again, Rose and I, we have a 17-year difference. Uh, yes, I'm the older one, the old bulldagger, affectionately. Yeah, my views on things, and then her being a different generation, and her experiences as that made Rosa Rosa, and the kids in the middle, and my eyes were crossed. Because I'm like, how are we gonna get out of this? And I don't mean unscathed, because believe me, there's going to, they say if you want an omelet, somebody's going to have to crack some eggs. So I would say, like, how are we going to stay together? And I don't think staying together, what was on her mind, it didn't seem like it was as important to her as it was to me. I don't know. I know she was, I think we were in the same situation, but she was rinsing it differently.
Right.
And then using that badge, and you haven't had children. I got kids. I'm not sure you like children.
She don't like kids,
you
just for the
know,
record.
and no, I don't hang out at Kitty City. That you remember when you hear these horrible child abductions, and someone snatched two children and threw them in the Honda and was trying to get to Mexico. That was not me. Under any circumstance, I'm not going to snatch your children. But can I get along with my two step children? And I would think we've come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we've come a long way. I don't think it will ever be easy for me, because I am who I am, and I just got some rules that I ain't gonna break them. I ain't gonna bend them. I'm not gonna reconstruct them. However, I can hear her say, "Do you understand how you come across to the little ones?" And they're not so little anymore. They're 17 and 21, soon to
Yeah.
be 18. You know what I mean? So, what helped me was a friend of mine said, "Sharon, here we go. I've known you a long time, and you're right. I've only know about one child being around your life, and that's your goddaughter." She said, "But here's the thing: the children will get older. They will move out one day. They will go on and live their life. You promise?" Because they was wearing me out. So, hmm,
I'm just listening.
So it was some difficult days. It was some
Yeah.
difficult days, and so the idea of losing my new family, my wife, of course, I was more concerned about the wife, and because we have the it's our relationship that touched theirs.
Right.
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 So
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah. So in any event, I just didn't want to not be loved, and more or less be loved by Rosa. And I was thinking about the 119 things that I really love about her, and then I got scared for a minute. I said, this woman might leave me. So how did we get through that?
I think it was mainly for me. I thought about my vows, number one, and this was one of those rough patches through the vows. And so I just said, do you want two failed marriages? Because I feel like the first one, not necessarily was a failure, but just a situation I was in, and I
Hmm.
probably should have never got in anyway.
Only you can say it.
Right. And truth, and it's the truth.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, but then you go deeper and you're like, but if I walked away, it wouldn't be because I didn't love her.
Mm.
It would be because whatever that situation was. And I think that particular time it was about the kids. And so mainly it's
Mm.
normally about the kids. But
Mm. Mm.
I'm just that mom that I want you to think of my kids too, because that's showing me a different type of love.
Mm.
When
Hmm.
you love someone, especially someone with kids, you love everything that comes with the whole package. The
Mm.
kids is part of me.
Mm.
I birthed both of them. And it's like, you can't love me, then you can't love the kids, you can't love me. And so um just thinking about all of that and saying, hey, yeah, one day they will be up and out. I do have to live my life, but I'm still going to be their advocate. I don't care how old they are. And but I do
Yeah.
love Sharon.
Hmm.
So
Also.
let's try to make this work. So that's what we're saying. When you're talking about staying in love, it's like, that's not so easy sometimes. And
No.
especially
No.
for the people who have been married for long periods of time.
Hmm.
You've been married for a long period of time, you're going to experience some ish, a bunch of issues. And
Yeah.
once you start experiencing that, it's like, it tears away a little bit about that person, and it's like, uh, you get to the point where you're just no longer loving the person. I mean, there's some things that if Sharon did, it probably wouldn't even be a question. I'm gone. But at the same time, when you're going through the different issues that may arise in
Mm.
your marriage relationship, or whatever you all are calling it, um, it's hard to look past that and say, but I still love this person.
Hmm.
So for me, I think it's more of, love conquers all, more so than that particular situation. And I sometimes need my moment. Like, don't talk to me because I ain't got it to say to you. So
Oh, may I say this? Excuse me for interrupting. Let's not forget, just look through the videos, honey. This is an Aries. I am a Gemini.
right.
So
So I need
whatever
my
that
space.
means, whatever visuals or mental things that y'all conjure up with that, woo, honey, this is more than an e-ticket ride at Disneyland. Boom! It has been it's been interesting, but
Yeah.
but I think love kept us together,
Yeah.
and
I think that's the main strength of the relationship, though. I mean, because like you've been saying throughout the, hundreds of videos that we have, um, it's been hard, and um, you gotta just like respect one another and love them.
yeah,
You
love them
know.
too. Yeah, 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 yeah. Cause I can be a bit much, and I am that dramatic, Gemini, and just got something to say about everything,
Everything.
everything, and I wake
Sometimes nobody even asked her,
I wake up.
and she be like, "Why? Why don't you know?" Because I didn't ask the person about their business.
I will Oprah
If
your
they
ass.
give me
I
their
got
business, I
questions.
will talk to Sharyn
No,
about it most of the
no.
time.
But
But
what that got
she
to do
just got.
with you loving
But
me?
I'm just saying, we are two different people. That's what that
Very
has
much
to do
so.
with.
Very,
And
very
she
much so.
goes about doing things her way, and I go about doing things my way. And although I love her, some days I'm not gonna say it because I might be mad about it. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's the same. And each couple will have their
Yeah.
moments, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to remember,
And allow each
especially if
other.
you're married, your vows. I mean, this is the
Right.
person that you vowed to love through sickness and health, through good times and bad, so whatever that looks like you
Deal
know
with it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Or not. Wait a minute. Or not. Because guess what? There's a cost to whatever decision you make. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I had to tell her one, two, and three, and she said four and five, and then it was over. Okay, you feel good about that because now you back. You're living a new life because it no longer has her in it.
Yeah.
And like I said, there was some fear on my part. Though I love me and I think I can deal with a lot of things, I did not want to live the rest of my life without Rosa. And it's not just Rosa, it's my Rosa. And it just rolls off my the tip of my tongue, and stop. It really does because that's my boo. And there's times when I could feel her frustration with things, and I'm not going to reinvent myself. I can be a little, I try to be a little bit more present with the children thing, but I'm never going to be nominated Mother of the Year. It ain't there. It's just not there, and not because I'm mean, Aunt Jean. I'm not. I'm a very loving person, but I've also lived a very rich and rewarding adult life for many many years. So like kids, I mean, I'm sure you can come across several of my friends like Sharon got children. Sharon, somebody's stepmother. Oh my God, save me, but you never know what things we say life happens when you're planning something else, and it wasn't just about the kids, it was loving my Rosa and the whole package. It's like you just can't pick this part and say, well, I don't want to deal with the veggies, I'm only here for the meat. uh that's unfair to her.
Yeah.
It really is, because she was very clear when we got together. She said, I got two children and they are my world and I am not playing. You know what I mean? And so I've grown. I've grown a lot, and I've grown, and I would dare I say love her more now than I ever did, and that's a lot.
Mhm.
That's a lot. So how do we stay in love?
It
Love,
is hard sometimes. I'm trying to tell
it's
y'all. I mean, I
challenging.
know I could be a difficult person, so it sometimes I'm sure it is a challenge loving me,
What, my
but
little Rosa,
I can't stand her.
my little
Um,
rosebud.
it depends on who you with. Sometimes it is a challenge that but at the same time, for me, I'm just not gonna accept any and everything.
No.
So and I think that's where the challenge comes from. It's
Yeah,
like,
and ditto for me, and because we're both fully grown, and my little tagline for if we are having words or spirited dialogue, I say, oh, wait a minute, everybody's grown, because she, right, right, because I'm like, look, she has a right to her opinion, her attitude, her feelings, and moi. So do I.
yeah,
So do I. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's just that let's at least listen to one another.
absolutely,
Listen and to hear it and to understand it. And again, once you get past the understanding of it, can you accept it? It's
yes,
some things I just not good at, some things I'm not going to do, and I do love you times two. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like love should not be um, holding me hostage.
right,
You
right,
see what I'm saying? You never see people. Oh, I see people who they're in love, but they walk around like they're on some kind of minefield with one another. Oh, don't say that because she gonna go off. Don't say that because she gonna go on. No. Say
but I
what you
think
feel,
that's a
babe.
different kind of love, though.
Well,
I
it's a
mean,
different. No,
it's
people reacting to it. They
yeah,
do have love for one another, but
hmm
how they express it and how, at what cost?
yeah,
So we love each other, but my family don't come over. The preacher got sent away,
right,
and no, none of the neighbors talk to her. But we are in love because something is really dysfunctional in that relationship. We know that. We
right,
know that.
right,
But staying on point, staying in love. That is a challenge. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And I don't mean the physicals, and I don't mean the every day just having breakfast, and oh, she's out of the shower now, let me run to her with a warm towel. Those are wonderful little niceties and wonderful, and yes, we do that. Okay, I'm sickening at times, but she loves me, but I'm talking about that other stuff. And like Rosa said, she keeps going back to the vows that she took with me, and my and me with her. uh I don't think it's easy. I think it is. It takes work, a lot of work.
You gotta dig deep down
Well, yeah,
in.
yeah,
Sometimes you
yeah.
just pull it up
And guess
and be
what?
okay.
As much as you see what the divorce rate in America, in the world. Well, let's just say America. What I mean? What, 65% or something like that? It's very high. It's over 50%. You know what I mean? It's so the easy part is slamming the door and saying fuck it.
Right.
Right. That's easy. You know what I mean? But when you stay in there and
Right.
staying in there for for the journey and for the just, it wears me out sometime, but it is worth it, and it helps me grow. And nobody's perfect. It's
Right.
like it would say, I will demand perfection the moment I become perfect,
Absolutely.
and that hasn't happened. So, us staying in love with one another, we work at it.
Yeah.
We work at it. Rosa goes out of her way to let me know how important I am to her. She wants me with her. It's not like, oh shit, hold on, I'm hanging out with my friends. I gotta go back to the old chain of shame. No, look, sweetie, do your thing, because everybody's grown, right? Do what makes you happy. You know what I mean? And when because I'm gonna be here, unless you give me one hell of a reason that I shouldn't.
Right.
Okay, it's hard work, and the work that we have to do and are doing and have done is different from what you may need. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I said, we're all in the classroom of life learning, but we have different assignments.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. So, um, uh, as I said, I can feel myself becoming full of emotion, because it just has been such a wonderful journey. If you all out there in lesbian land and far beyond, you've been enjoying these videos, so have we.
Yeah.
We enjoyed making them. We enjoyed the processes that we go through. And one thing that we've been very honest about and true to you about is that we do not rehearse.
Yeah.
There are times when Rosa will say something, it like, I try not to snap back. She said, "What?" And we're not going to erase the
Ditto.
whole tape, because that's 19 minutes.
Like ditto. I just have a poker face. I don't have to be like,
Well, I'm the
I'm
dramatic
like,
one.
yeah, we'll talk about that later.
No,
In
but
my
every
head, that's what's going on.
no. People, some of my people out there, they didn't quote you say, Miss Rosa, bam.
Yeah.
Or as we say, pow. Every now and then
About
she
my
gets me,
yeah.
but yeah, it is what it is, and it's
Yeah.
okay, because
Yeah.
we're still growing and learning, and we're sharing those lessons with you, our
Absolutely.
stories. And for those of you know that I'm a part-time storyteller. I am, and I've been around a lot of different places, and woo, what a life I've had.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've done something right, because I got my Rosa. I got my Rosa. So I think that's where we're going to leave it today, because
Yeah.
we have one more show, and that'll be next week. That
Yep.
we'll take that and put that in the can, as they say in Hollywood. But this has been good. This has been more than good. It's been great times five.
Yeah.
And if you guys got questions for us, and as y'all go through it, and our new people as well, like I said, we're not going away. We're just going to do a different
Revamp it
presentation.
differently. Yeah.
We okay. Hold your questions, because God willing, we'll be going live again next month.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got anything, sweetie?
No.
Okay, until next time, we're wishing you the very best
Of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke and stay in love.
Yeah.